A variety of electronic devices and components are used in the manufacture of various professional and consumer electronic equipment. Life of these equipment depends on the quality of devices used. To ensure high quality and reliability of these devices, a number of tests are conducted for gauging the suitability of a particular device for a specific use. Some of the tests which deal with the environmental testing of electronic devices are discussed in this program. Centrifuge test. This test is performed to determine the effect of centrifugal forces on the devices, such as those experienced in space applications. The devices are filled in a device insert in such a way that the rotor remains balanced under high centrifugal force. It is then loaded onto a microprocessor-controlled centrifuge accelerator. The accelerator is programmed to subject the devices to a specified kinetic stress, a typical value being 20,000 G to 30,000 G. The machine performs high-speed constant acceleration testing of electronic devices. It tests mechanical integrity of ICs in bulk fixture form. Wire bend and die attachment problems, poor lead attachment and poor seals in hermetic packages are detected by this test. The test is performed in less than 3 minutes. Burn-in test. This test is conducted for screening or eliminating marginal devices or for evaluating the long-term reliability of the packaged devices. The burn-in test chamber has 10 thermocouples, a nitrogen purge facility, power supply complex, power supply monitoring, and a chart recorder. The chamber temperature ranges from 50 to 200 degrees Celsius and it is thermocouple controlled. The chamber can accommodate 24 single height and 12 double height modules. The devices to be tested are mounted on burn-in trays. Wire wrapping of trays is done as per the specifications of the devices . After this, proper connections are ensured. The device-mounted trays are then loaded onto the machine. The test requirements for the given devices are programmed. And the devices are energized. The test goes on according to specifications. Salt mist test. This test determines the suitability of a device for use or storage in salt-laden atmosphere. The devices to be tested are pasted onto a strip. A salt solution, generally of sodium chloride, with not more than 0.1% of sodium iodide and not more than 0.3% of total impurities, is prepared by dissolving it in distilled water. Solution must be appropriate in strength and pH according to specifications. The devices are then hung in the test area. They are subjected to corrosion by means of salt residue being deposited on them or due to the salt fog. First of all, clean air compressed to 12 to 15 psi is bubbled through water, which is kept at 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And to this humidified air, salt solution gets mixed. This mixture is atomized through nozzle to create fog in chamber, which is held at 95 degrees Fahrenheit. The devices are subjected to the test for a specified time duration. Temperature cycling test. This test is conducted to determine the resistance of devices to exposure to extreme high and low temperature. This test also detects the effect of alternate exposure to these extremes. The machine provides heating with open element type heater, which provides quick response, whereas liquid nitrogen is used in the cooling system. The chamber conditions are recorded on a graph. In this test, the mounted devices are placed in the test chamber. The machine is then programmed to subject the devices to specified low and high temperatures for specified durations. First, the devices are subjected to low temperature for a specified time and then to high temperature again for the specified duration. The devices are subjected to a specified number of such cycles. The chamber conditions are plotted on the graph. Mechanical shock test. This test determines resistance of devices to mechanical shocks such as those occurring during transportation or use in applications where it may be subjected to repeated shocks. The device to be tested is fixed to the machine platform with the help of an adhesive. A shock level of 0 to 1500 G is given to the device by the machine. The device is shocked for a specified number of times. Highly accelerated stress test. This test is intended to check rapidly the effect of humidity on the devices. The devices to be tested are loaded onto a tray. The machine is then programmed according to specifications of the devices. A steam generator is directly connected to the test chamber. In the test chamber, another heater retreats steam vapors, thus creating unsaturated steam in the test chamber. The tray is then placed in the chamber. Each test cycle has a duration of 24 hours. The record of chamber condition appears on the screen. Leakage test. This test is conducted to find minute holes in the devices. The test is conducted in two steps. In the first step, the devices are preheated during the purge cycle. In this case, the devices filled in tubes are placed in the test chamber. The chamber is then held under a vacuum of 5 torr for a specified time. After this, the devices are covered with a detector which is either helium or specified fluorocarbon. Pressure is then applied for a specified time depending on cavity volume. This forces the detector into the cavities. The devices are then removed from the machine. This completes the preheating of the devices, wherein the detector is forced into the cavities in the devices. The second step in leakage test is the measurement cycle. In this case, the preheated devices are loaded on the machine. For measurement, a device is placed under a heated surface for a specified time. This causes the fluid in cavities to vaporize. The escaping gas is directly detected by the analyzer. The detector measures the concentration of molecules of escaping gas over a period of time. If this concentration exceeds a certain level, a reject is identified. The good and bad devices are directed into separate tubes. Thermal shock test, liquid to liquid. This test is conducted to determine the resistance of packaged devices to sudden exposure to the extreme changes in temperature in liquid medium. The chamber has two temperature-controlled baths which have liquid fluorocarbon. In one bath, the devices can be cooled up to -73 degrees Celsius, whereas in the other bath, the devices can be heated up to 200 degrees Celsius. The devices to be tested are kept in an immersion wire basket. This basket is then loaded on the machine. The machine keeps the bath temperatures within the set high and low temperature limits. The devices are kept in one bath for a specified time and then cycled into the other bath with 10 seconds as maximum transfer time. The devices are cycled for a specified number of times.